Today we will learn about DNA replication. DNA replication is the process to producing two identical replicas from one original DNA molecule. Cellular profiling. The complementary nature of the two nucleotide strands in a DNA molecule suggested that during replication, each strand can serve as a template for the synthesis of a new strand. Two DNA molecules built on the pair of templates will be identical with the original. This process is called semi-conservative replication because each of the original nucleotide strands remains intact despite no longer being combined in the same molecule. The original DNA molecule is half conserved during replication. Initially, three alternative models were proposed for DNA replication. In conservative replication, the entire double-stranded DNA molecule serves as a template for a whole new molecule of DNA, and the original DNA molecule is fully conserved during replication. In dispersive replication, both nucleotide strands break down into fragments which serve as templates for the synthesis of new DNA fragments and then somehow resemble into two complete DNA molecules. In this model, each resulting DNA molecule is interspersed with fragments of old and new DNA. None of the original molecule is conserved. Semi-conservative replication is intermediate between these two models. The two nucleotide strands unwind and each serve as a template for a new DNA molecule. Once the double-stranded DNA is exposed, a group of enzymes act to accomplish its replication. These described briefly are topoisomerase. First is topoisomerase. This enzyme initiates unwinding of double helix by cutting one of the strands. Now, helicase. This enzyme assists the unwinding. Note unwinding. Many hydrogen bonds must be broken if the strands are to be separated. Now come to SSB. SSB means single stranded binding protein. A single stranded binding protein stabilizes the separated strands and prevents them from recombining so that the polymerization chemistry can function on the individual strands. Now come to DNA polymerase. This family of enzymes link together nucleotide triphosphate monomers as the hydrogen bond to complementary bases. These enzymes also check for error and make corrections. Ligases. Small unattached DNA segments on a strand are united by this enzyme. Now come to modes of replication. Michelson and Stahl work and investigated that other organisms also use semi-conservative replication. No evidence was found for conservative or dispersive replication. However, several different ways that semi-conservative replication can take place, differing principally in the nature of the template DNA, whether it is linear or circular, and in the number of replication forks. Individual units of replication are called replicants, each of which contains a replication origin. Replication starts at the origin and continues until the entire replicon has been replicated. Bacterial chromosomes have a single replication origin, whereas eukaryotic chromosomes contains many. Now come to theta replication. Let's know about theta replication. A scientist named John Cairns provided the first visible evidence of the theta replication in 1963 by growing bacteria in the Presence of radioactive nucleotides. A common type of replication that takes place in the circular DNA, such as that found in E. coli and other bacteria, is called theta replication because it generates a structure that resembles the Greek letter theta. The theta replication double stranded DNA begins to unwind at the replication origin, producing single stranded nucleotide strands that then serve as templates on which new DNA can be synthesized. The unwinding of the double helix generates a loop termed a replication bubble. The point of unwinding, where the two single-stranded two nucleotide strands separate from the double-stranded DNA helix, is called a replication fork. If there are two replication fork, one at the end of the replication bubble, the forks proceed outward in both directions in a process called bidirectional replication, simultaneously unwinding and replicating the DNA until they eventually meet. If a single replication fork is present, it proceeds around the entire circle to produce two complete circular DNA molecules, each consisting of one old and one new nucleotide strand. The rate of DNA replication is a living cell was first measured as the rate of phase T for DNA elongation is phase infected E. coli. During the period of exponential DNA increase at 37 degrees centigrade, the rate was 749 nucleotides per second. The mutation rate per base pair per replication during phase T4 DNA synthesis is 1.7 per 10 to the power 8. Thus, DNA replication is both impressively fast and accurate. Now come to direction of replication. In DNA synthesis, new nucleotides are joined one at a time to the 3' end of the newly synthesized strand, and DNA polymerases, the enzymes that synthesizes DNA, can add nucleotides only to the 3' end of the growing strand. So, new DNA strands always elongate in the same 5' to 3' direction. As the DNA unwinds, the template strand that is exposed in the 3' to 5' direction allows the new strand to be synthesized continuously in the 5' to 3' direction. This new strand, which undergoes continuous replication, is called the leading strand. The other template strand is exposed in the 5' to 3' direction. After a short length of the DNA has been unwound, synthesis must proceed 5' to 3', that is, in the direction opposite that of unwinding. Because only a short length of DNA needs to be unwound before synthesis on this strand gets started, the replication machinery soon runs out of template. The newly made strand that undergoes discontinuous replication is called the lagging strand. The short lengths of DNA produced by discontinuous replication of the lagging strand are called Okazaki fragments. Okazaki fragments on the lagging strand are linked together to create a continuous new DNA molecule. Now come to initiation of replication. The DNA chromosomes consist of many replicating units called as replicon. Replication is always initiated through these replicons only. Now come to unwinding. The separation of the two chains of DNA is termed as unwinding. In this process, the double helix of DNA is progressively unwound to produce a single-stranded DNA segments. It starts from a specific point called as ORI-C point, and enzymes topoisomerase is involved in producing a cut in a DNA strand. The ORI-C region is used to produce unwinding of the DNA molecule because it consists of A double bond T base pair in a sufficient quantity, and these bonds are easy to break up. The unwinding of the DNA molecules are brought about by a specific unwinding protein called a DNA unwinding protein, that is helicase enzyme. In the process, Mg2 plus Mg plus plus act as a cofactor. This unwinding always takes in an alkaline medium. The protein bind particularly to the single strand of DNA promotes unwinding or denaturation of double helix. The region of double helix where protein bind form a Y-shaped structure called as replication fork. This replication fork moves down the double helix. The parental strands undergoes winding again. However, the strength imposed by unwinding is released by the action of superhelix relaxing protein called SSB protein. Now come to separation of double helix. Helicase enzyme leads to the separation of strands and binds single-stranded binding protein, that is SSB, to the DNA molecule and prevent the double helix to wound again. Now come to synthesis of leading and lagging strands. Synthesis of DNA by DNA polymerase occurs in 5' to 3' direction only. As the two strands of the double helix runs in the opposite direction, so there will be the formation of two types of strands. They are continuous or leading strand or 3' to 5' DNA template, discontinuous or lagging strand or 5' to 3' DNA template. Now come to RNA primering. Initiation of DNA synthesis requires RNA primer, which is a short polynucleotide chain with 5' phosphate and 3' OH group at their ends. The formation of RNA is catalyzed by an enzyme called as RNA polymerase. Synthesis of RNA polymers takes place in 5' to 3' direction. After the formation of new chain, this RNA is removed and the gaps are filled with DNTOs provided by an enzyme DNA polymerase 1. Now come to chain elongation. Synthesis takes place in 5' to 3' direction on 3' to 5' direction. DNA template by enzyme DNA polymerase 3 in the presence of ATP. These RNA primers are later on hydrolyzed by the 5' to 3' exonuclease activity of the DNA polymerase 1 and gap is later on filled by DNTPs provided the catalytic activity of DNA polymerase 1. The synthesized DNA was later on joined by the activity of DNA ligase enzyme. Later on, these Okazaki fragments are joined together by DNA ligase enzyme. Now come to excision of RNA primers. Once a small segment of Okazaki fragment has been formed, the nucleotide of RNA primers are removed from 5' end one by one by the action of 5' to 3' exonuclease activity of DNA polymerase. Now come to ligation. What do you mean by ligation? In the final step of Okazaki fragment joined together by phosphodiester bonds. This step is catalyzed by polynucleotide ligase or DNA ligase, which requires NAD for activity. NAD means nicotine, dynamite, adenine dinucleotide. Okay, now come to ligase. The reaction is ligase plus NAD gives rise to ligase AMP gives rise to NMP. Okay, this the adenylated ligase then react with DNA having single strand break to produce repaired phosphodiester bond ligase and AMP. Rampacin, a drug, inhibits the process of replication. Now come to prokaryotic DNA replication. It follows the replication process in which there is a formation of only one replication fork and therefore the replication is called as unidirectional replication. Initiation of replication in a double strands of DNA. For the initiation of replication from ORIC, DNA gene, which is a product of DNA from formed of complex with the ATP molecule. DNA capital A ATP complex combines at ORIC DNA capital A gene, which is a product of DNA capital A form complex with the ATP molecule. DNA capital A ATP complex combines an ORIC region in order to promote the unwinding of DNA in a region of 13 base pair sequence. The opening occurs from the ORIC region to form a replication fork. This replication fork progresses in opposite direction to form an intermediate product called as theta fork. During the unwinding, excessive supercoiling of DNA also occurs ahead of the replication fork. Topoisomerase enzyme is overcome the supercoiling problem in circular DNA molecules. Type 1 topoisomerase. It would produce a transient break in one of the DNA strand to remove excessive supercoiling. Type 2 topoisomerase. This would produce a transient break in one of the DNA molecule to produce two daughter molecules. Now come to RNA primers. Unwinding is followed by the synthesis of RNA primers by DNA polymerase through its interaction with DNA capital B, and the primers are further elongated by DNA polymerase 3 holoenzyme. Now come to chain elongation. The elongation of the chain involves loading and activation of DNA B helicase enzyme, because this enzyme will then activate a series of other enzymes such as DNA polymerase 3 holoenzymes to promote chain elongation. DNA polymerase 3 holoenzyme is a large multiprotein complex made up of two components, that is core and accessory component. When both the components are linked together, enzyme becomes functional. As a result, leading strand and other is lagging strand are synthesized. Now come to chain termination. The prokaryotic DNA strand contains large termination zone opposite to ORIC or a region which can block the progress of the replication. E. coli chromosomes and various other plasmid contains specific sequence called as tear side, where TBP, tear binding protein, or TUS protein bind. TBP, tear binding protein, tear complex formed at a tear site stop the migration of the replication fork by inhibiting the DNA helicase or DNA capital B protein, and thus terminates the chain elongation. In the absence of tear site, replication stops spontaneously by the meeting of the oppositely growing replication fork. Come to eukaryotic DNA replication. Although not as well as understood, eukaryotic replication resembles bacterial replication in many respects. The most obvious difference are eukaryotes have multiple replication origin in their chromosomes, and another point is more type of DNA polymerase with different functions. Third point is nucleosome assembly immediately follow DNA replication. Okay. Now first we will study about chain elongation. In the eukaryotic genome, the origin of replication is also known as autonomously replicating sequence, ARS. ARS contains 11 base pairs A double bond T. Rich condensation sequences or ACS, autonomous replication sequences domain. Unwinding occurs from the domain in order to form a replication fork. The replication fork in this case of eukaryotes has bidirectional in nature. The protein involved in the unwinding is T single bond AG protein, TAG protein, which requires the presence of ATP. The same protein is also associated with the replication factor A RFA, and the topoisomerase enzyme which performs the function of helicase and brings about the local unwinding of the DNA molecule. The replication fork is formed SSB binding so as to unbound single-stranded DNA. Now come to RNA polymerase. Next step of eukaryotic replication is the RNA primering. In this step, RNA polymerase synthesizes the RNA primer beneath the DNA template, or we can say it utilizes the DNA as a template to synthesize RNA primers. Chain elongation. DNA polymerase alpha synthesize lagging strands or the Okazaki fragments on 5' to 3' DNA template. RFC and proliferating cell nuclear antigen or cyclin helps in switching of DNA polymerase so that poly alpha is replaced by poly delta, which will then continuously synthesize DNA as a leading strand in 3' to 5' direction. Another Okazaki fragment is then synthesized from the replication fork on the lagging strand by poly alpha primerase complex. This step is repeated again and again till the entire DNA molecule is covered. The RNA primers are later on removed and the gap are filled as in the case of prokaryotic DNA replication. Thus, a chain elongation involves the switching between poly alpha and poly delta. DNA polymerase alpha, which contains primerase activity, initiates nuclear DNA synthesis by synthesizing an RNA primer followed by a short string of DNA nucleotides. After DNA polymerase alpha has laid down from 30 to 40 nucleotides, DNA polymerase delta completes replication on the leading and lagging strands. DNA polymerase beta does not participate in replication but is associated with the repair and recombination of nuclear DNA. DNA polymerase gamma replicates mitochondrial DNA. A gamma-like polymerase also replicates chloroplast DNA. Similar in structure and function to DNA polymerase delta. DNA polymerase omega appears to take part in nuclear replication of both the leading and lagging strands, but its precise role is not yet clear. Other DNA polymerases allow replication to bypass damaged DNA or play a role in DNA repair. Many of the DNA polymerases have multiple roles in replication and DNA repair. Now come to major differences between eukaryotic and prokaryotic DNA replication mechanism. RNA primers and Okazaki fragment are shorter in eukaryotes than prokaryotes. Then another point is DNA synthesis takes place within a small portion of the cell cycle in eukaryotes, not continuously as in prokaryotes. Third point is eukaryotic chromosomes contain multiple origin of replication. Fourth point is eukaryotic DNA replication starts at origin of the replication designated as autonomous replicative sequence. Fifth point is eukaryotes do not need a separate primerase. Polymerase A has primase activity, that is, it synthesizes the primer. Termination of eukaryotic DNA replication, especially in telomeric region, presents a problem in replication. Next point is features of eukaryotic replication, the cell cycle and DNA replication. The events surrounding eukaryotic DNA replication and cell division is coordinated to produce the cell cycle. The cell cycle general sequence of events that occur during the lifetime of a eukaryotic cell is divided into 4 distinct phases. First is M phase, that is mitosis and cell division occurs. And second is G phase, that is covers the longest part of the cell cycle. This is the main period of the cell growth. Third point is S phase. This is the only period in the cell cycle when DNA is synthesized. Next point, fourth point is G2 phase, that is preparation for mitosis. Various variations occur in G1 phase. Example, G1 phase. Example, Many terminally differentiated cells, such as neurons or muscle cells, nerve divide. They assume a quiescent state known as G0 phase. In rapidly dividing embryonic cells, G1 and G2 are very short or non-existent. In all cells, decisions to continue on through the cell cycle occurs at 2 points. First is entry into S phase, second point is entry into mitosis. These checkpoints help to ensure that DNA replicates once and only once during each cell division. Come to multiple replicants per chromosome. A segment of DNA whose replication is under the control of one region and two termini is called a replicon. In prokaryotes, the entire chromosome has usually one replicon. The existence of multiple replicants per eukaryotic chromosome has been verified directly by electron microscope. Reason for multiple replicants per chromosomes. Multiple origin of replicon are required to allow the very large DNA molecule in eukaryotic chromosomes to replicate within observed cell division time. Replication is initiated at more sites during very rapid cell division of embryogenesis than during later stage of development. Now come to experimental evidence. The first evidence of multiple origins in eukaryotic chromosomes resulted from Paul's labeling experiments with Chinese hamster cells growing in culture in 1968 when Joel Humber and Arthur Riggs Paul's labeled cells with H3 thymidine for a few minutes, extracted the DNA and performed autoradiographic analysis of labeled DNA. Now come to interpretations. Individual eh, individual macromolecules of DNA contains multiple origin of replication. Replication in eukaryotes is bidirectional as it is most prokaryotes. Replication apparatus in eukaryotes. It is more complex than prokaryotes. Although knowledge of the structure of the replicative machinery in eukaryotes is still limited, many features of DNA replication are similar in eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Most of the knowledge about eukaryotic DNA replication mechanism is learned from studies on budding yeast. Now come to eukaryotic DNA polymerase. At least 5 classes of eukaryotic DNA polymerase has been identified and characterized. That is polymerase alpha, polymerase beta, polymerase gamma, polymerase uh, delta and omega epsilon. Now come to polymerase alpha is contains primerase. Polymerase alpha is a multi-subunit enzyme which is required for the initiation of replication at origin and for the priming of Okazaki fragments during the discontinuous synthesis of lagging strand. Polymerase A exists in a stable complex with DNA primase. Primase synthesizes DNA primes which are extended with deoxyribonucleotides by polymerase A to produce DNA RNA chains. Polymerase alpha, polymerase gamma, RNA DNA primer chain are extended by polymerase gamma. That is polymerase delta, and that is it completes the synthesis of Okazaki fragment in lagging strand and catalyzes continuous synthesis of leading strand. Polymerase alpha interacts with protein pCNA and RFC, replication factor C, to be active. It also fills the gap initiated by excision of RNA primers by ribonuclease H and ribonuclease FEN. Primerase delta also contains the 3' to 5' exonuclease activity required for proofreading. DNA topoisomerase and RNA helicases unwinds the parental DNA strand as in eukaryotes. Replication protein A, RPA, are the single strand DNA binding protein which keeps the unwound strand in extended state. PCNA, proliferating cell nuclear antigen. PCNA, proliferating cell nuclear antigen, is the sliding clamp that others pull 6 to the DNA to allow processive replication. That is, it facilitates the synthesis of long DNA chains. Proliferating the cell nuclear antigen is a trimeric protein that forms a closed ring. RFC, replication factor C, induces a change in conformation of proliferating cell nuclear antigen that allow it to encircle DNA, providing the essential sliding clamp. That is, replication factor C is required for proliferating cell nuclear antigen to load onto DNA. Ribonuclear HI and ribonuclease FEN1 RNA polymerases are excised by ribonuclease HI, which degrades RNA present in RNA DNA duplexes, and ribonuclease FEN1 DNA ligases seals the nicks, producing covalently closed progeny strands. Replication of telomeres. Eukaryotic cells face a special problem in replicating the ends of their linear DNA molecules. Thank you.